In 2022, the Rippaverse launched with Item Number 1. Written by company founder Eric July, illustrated by Cliff Richards, the book eventually would become a $3.7 million success. The following year, comic book veterans Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett would join the team and create a $1 million success of their own with Alpha Core Number 1. And in 2024, the highly anticipated Yaira by the Saska sisters and Deborah Carita became the third Rippaverse property to make $1 million in total sales. Isom, Alpha Core, and Yaira have cemented their place as mainstays for this fast-growing indie publisher. Now you can grab our first ever collected works, the Rippaverse Trinity Volume 1. This 300-plus page book features Isom Number 1, Alpha Core Number 1, and Yaira Number 1. And Isom has been officially remastered with updated art from Cliff and colors from the new series colorist, Sebastian Cheng. Also, all 3 books have upgraded letters, so you're getting more than just a mere reprint. Head over to Rippaverse.com and order the Rippaverse Trinity Volume 1. Available as both a trade paperback and hardcover.
Yo, what's up? We are live for the 52nd episode of Ripping the Silverback. We had some tech stuff that we're working through before, which is why we're a little late. I saw, I think we got like Garrett's, a lot of people from Garrett's stream came over from the noon. Appreciate y'all. We got a little bit of a late start, but we got it figured out for right now. As probably won't sound as clear as far as his audio as he usually does, but it's fine. We're going to get through the show. And everything. So I got a lot of stuff that I just want to just speed run through before we get into our topics for today. But first, man, how you doing? Traveling man.
Yeah, traveling man. Sorry about the audio. For some reason, the Yeti's not functioning. So I'll sort out another mic for other streams. Don't fret. But yeah, in parts unknown, NDAs.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. Yeah, so he's traveling, but show is still going on. 52nd, episode. Appreciate all of y'all, all the continued support. Yeah, got a lot of cool stuff planned for you guys as far as the Rippaverse. Let me speed run everything that we got going just real quick before we get into the topics because it's so much. Okay, bam. You got the calendars. These are starting to ship right now. You can order one. It'll come to you probably. It'll get shipped maybe that same day, maybe the next day, depending on what day it is. You can get these. They should start arriving for you guys that already pre-ordered this. Also, a lot of talk has been going on about this cool little Christmas card. A lot of folks have been sharing it out that we collaborated with our friends over there at Iconic Comics. You can grab, well, let's say this. If you buy anything that's in the store, if you want this cool little collaborative effort Christmas card between ourselves, you got the characters of the Rippaverse as well as characters in Iconic Comics that are linking up and exchanging gifts. Is really cool. We love those guys. Have a lot of respect for them and what they're doing independently as a comic book company. So that will come with any order. That obviously there's orders that need to be in the store, right? So you can get it, right? So pre-order items, no. But if there's orders that you want to buy another shirt or something like that, this will come with every single order. You'll get to check that out as well. As you saw before the show, Trinity Volume 1 is up for pre-order. We did announce not too long ago that that's going to be ending on, I think, the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. So go ahead and get that. Hardcover copies will only have 1,000. This oversized hardcover copy will only print 1,000. And what we announced today, which is something that's really, really cool. I can't possibly take credit for this. So as some of you may have already known, one of our team members, Jordan, she's been with me for a very long time. She's our video asset manager here. She manages our video editorial team as well. And she obviously has cancer. She's been battling that. We've been obviously letting her have all the time off that she needs. She's getting her treatment. We're going to keep her around as an employee, helping her out with whatever we can. Obviously, she has insurance through the company as well. That said, fighting cancer ain't cheap. Okay. It's not. Anybody that has a family, you understand that. So insurance aside, there's still all sorts of fees that are associated with it. And there are two ways that you can support her. This being one of them. We just announced this. This is, again, her co-worker's idea. I cannot take credit for this. Designed by the team here at the Rippaverse. Did a cool little crow shirt specifically for her. 100% of the net proceeds are going directly to her. So we're not profiting off of this. Nobody is profiting off of this. Is all the money that is made from this, as far as the net proceeds are concerned, are going directly to Jordan. That said, she also has a Give, Send, Go, which is on the product page. So if you click the link for you guys to have the newsletter, there's a link that goes directly to her Give, Send, Go. So if you want to donate just directly to her, you don't really want the shirt or anything, there's an option there. Obviously, be sure to read Give, Send, Go as far as the fees that are going to be associated with that as far as processing. But there is a way to donate to her directly if that's something that you want. But of course, I think that you should go grab the shirt. Great cause. You'll see me rocking it from time to time as well. And we'll be with Jordan alongside the way this battle she's handling. She's a trooper, man. She's an absolute trooper. I love her to death. I've been working with her, had the luxury of working with her for a while. It's in the description as well. And I see my mods in the chat posting that. So big shout out to the team for making this happen. Because again, that was all their idea. They facilitated that. I cannot take credit for it at all. Okay, so moving into like the actual show and what we got planned for you guys today. I got a lot of topics and stuff that I want to make sure that I go through. Most of it's gaming centric, and we will get to all of that for sure. But I first want to go into some of the more Hollywood-based things that are taking place. I don't know if you saw this. I know you've been traveling and whatnot. But Disney pulls a transgender storyline from Pixar's Win or Lose streaming service, which I'd imagine they're not going to make money on that anyway because it's streaming.
Yeah.
But Pixar's original animated series. This is coming directly from the Hollywood Reporter, by the way. And they will no longer be including, it says, a transgender storyline in a later episode. So I'm assuming that the episode itself got pulled. And the Hollywood Reporter has learned. They said the series follows a co-ed middle school softball team named the Pickles in the week leading up to their championship. Each of the 8 episodes center on the off the field life of a character and their point of view, whether it be a player, parent, or coach or umpire. A spokesperson for Disney confirmed that the story arc was removed and provided the following statement. When it comes, and this statement was interesting to me. They said, when it comes to animated content for a younger audience, we recognize that many parents would prefer to discuss certain subjects with their children on their own terms and timeline. Mm-hmm. The character remains in the show, but a few lines of dialogue that reference gender identity, they've been removed. A source close to Win or Lose said the studio made the decision to alter the course several months ago, and they reached out to them, and they declined, Disney that is, to further comment. Okay, so this isn't, as they bring it up, this isn't the first time that with these weird little things that they are putting in. Remember the not so gay agenda as they reimagine Disney or whatever deal that was out there. And we know that Disney has a bunch of employees, right? that are obviously very agenda driven. And yes, it's weird that they are so hyped up in putting this in basically all of their media, even if it has nothing to do with it. Like the story that they're telling, like in this case, maybe what does this have to do with softball or anything? Nothing. But they did have that as a storyline, and they wanted to make sure that it was there. But it got removed. So, as I don't know if you have any like initial thoughts before I kind of go in and give you mind of number one, what that means for Disney going forward. Considering that it was at least bad enough for them to say, yeah, we're not putting this out.
Well, if you've got trans storylines with children, you're a fucking pedophile. Okay. The kids need to go nowhere near this shit. It's got nothing to do with them. Children aren't sexual creatures. If any 5-year-old is saying that I'm trans, it's because an adult's told them.
Oh, facts.
It's Munchausen by proxy and all that. It's fucking absolute degenerate piece of shit liberals, Californian white fucks, urinal lickers, if you please. Who want to get attention and they want to fucking out woke their buddies, so they force it upon their children, which is the most disgusting thing that you can possibly do. You shouldn't be anywhere near children. This is just a disease of the West. You don't get this anywhere else. The fact that you're saying that you've removed it, why was it even there in the fucking first place?
Right.
Can we just have, if kids are going to have TV shows targeted for children, can they please just be TV shows that are meant for children?
Exactly.
It's got nothing to do with kids whatsoever, and just get it off. Get it off.
Right.
But it's Disney, and we know that Disney's full of a bunch of fucking shroomers. We know that Disney's full of a bunch of fucking weirdos. We know that the West is infested with this dog shit. We know that the corporations are infested with this dog shit. It all boils down to ESG, all boils down to DEI. And we've been through it so many times. It also boils down to funding from other corporations that they think they have to stick it in. If there's any company that is producing programming for your children that involve this kind of stuff, boycott those companies. Don't give them a fucking penny. That's what I've got to say.
That's your thought. Those are the quick drops. Initial thoughts, just kind of off the cuff thoughts from our man's ass. Yeah, dude, it's yeah, I guess that's the question. Why was it there in the first place? Why is this company, and it's they use creators loosely, whatever you like to call those people, because they're more activists than they are creators. Why do they feel so pressed to inject this stuff in every single form of media, right? It almost feels that way, especially coming from Disney. Now, again, we have done shows, guys, and you can go watch them. We've done shows talking about like the whole Reimagine Disney. We went through some of those videos, and those were those sort of internal conversations that, if you will, where they were going basically gay person to gay person. And this was with when who was CEO? What's his name was CEO back then? Still, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Chapek was the other Bob. Was
Iger and Chapek.
Yeah. So Chapek, which sound like a hostage negotiation when you listen to what he said, where he basically felt like he was bending over for all of these guys, and they were basically going person to person, and they were talking about, hey, in this show, my not so secret gay agenda, and you basically using media as a vehicle, right, for their form of activism, because they feel as if they have a responsibility. Now, when they do this in, let's say, material that more so targets adults, as it's still foul, it's still degenerate, it's still what the fuck. That said, it's especially jacked up when you're putting this stuff in children's material. And then your mind has to wonder, like, why are you doing that in the first place? Like, how fucked in your mind do you have to be like, yeah, this is it's specifically, this isn't like something that, look, this is specifically targeting children, right?
Mhm.
And you, for whatever reason, feel like there's a need for an episode to go on a tangent about transgender bullshit. Now, I wonder, right? Because I did see some posts. There was some that I didn't get to book. I meant to bookmark that I didn't, right? Where you had folks that were obviously upset that this happened, right? There were some leftists that were not too happy about this, and they actually,
That's a fucking shame.
right?
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers goes to them. But they were so bent out of shape about it, and basically the spin was that this was somehow about lack of acceptance. And I'm like, acceptance as far as what exactly? Is I guess the question that I would have to someone that is like, well, this country or this culture rather is trending in this sort of future of non-acceptance. And I was like, if by that you mean, yeah, we're not accepting you trying to put this transgender nonsense in children media, then yeah, no, we don't accept that for sure.
It is on acceptance because it's a fucking half of it. Well, not half of it. 99.9% of it is a bunch of fake ass shit.
Right.
It's a bunch of fake ass shit that preys on the ill, the mentally ill, that has, as we've discussed many times, usurped an organization, LGBTQIA, whatever they want to fucking call it now. Now it's just been completely taken over by the big T. It's used as a sword and a shield. It's just a weapon. There is nothing accepting about this at all. It is compliance. It is fucking just get this shit out of here. Again, This is only a disease of the West. You know, you go to other places in Eastern Europe, you go to the East, they have no clue what you're talking about because this is just some made up fucking bullshit where people are. I think there is a minuscule proportion of people that have gender dysmorphia, a minuscule, absolute microcosm of people. And it's just amazing how in the space of a few years, we have 30% of Gen Z or whatever that stat is. It's insane.
Yeah.
That suddenly claim that they are part of the queer community, as they call it. Okay, that's not a natural trend for something to be like minuscule, boom.
Right.
So it's an orchestrated, manufactured fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, people don't want to accept it. They don't want fucking weirdos with pink hair and beards that goes into women's changing rooms, go into women's spaces and say I need to be accepted. Talking to their fucking children or talking to children in general, they should be fucking thrown out through a fucking window onto the street if they go anywhere near a woman's changing room. So if you want to talk about acceptance, then the fact that you are sponsored by corporation, by government, by education, by entertainment to push this fucking weird shit.
Right.
And you talk about acceptance, you have all the authoritative bodies behind you. And you're just mad because the public aren't fucking accepting this shit because the public aren't fucking dumb. And they know this is just a manufactured, I don't even know what you call it, but this is a manufactured system that you want to, it's almost like the Mandela effect, you know? Oh, this has always happened. No, it fucking hasn't.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't see the trends just going and shit like that. That's not fucking organic. That's not we've always been here. That's not this. That's not the other. That's the Mandela effect fucking bullshit. You're trying to gaslight.
Yeah. Textbook gaslighting.
Yeah. If there's an adult that really wants to kind of target your children, non-sexual beings, you know, there's a reason why we wait for children to get to a certain age before we even discuss reproduction,
right?
Fertilization between a man and a woman. So if you want to target children, minors about this kind of shit, you know, if the FBI weren't so corrupt themselves, you know, there would be a hi. You know, I would just like to have a quick word with you down at the station behind the bars. Type of business, because there's some weird fucking bullshit going on there. So yeah, there is non-acceptance. I actually agree with them. There is non-acceptance.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm very pro that.
Yes.
I am very, very pro this non-acceptance. So congratulations that you understood that people are going, go fuck yourself. Congratulations on that, because that's what they are doing. And no, I don't think you will find acceptance for people that don't want you near a country mile of their fucking kids.
Yeah, it's very simple, right? Again, they try to preface it as if they are the victim, right? And look, let's be honest, right? There's no need to kind of tippy tap around it, right? It's a specific reason why they target children, right? You're talking about these youngsters; they're gullible, maybe naive, innocent though naive, right? And especially when you're dealing with a demographic of people that don't tend to reproduce anyway, quite literally can't.
Impossible.
Yes, can't. And you want to, let's say, influence culture, right? And especially with the upcoming, let's say, younger generations, then of course that's why you're going to target these impressionable youngsters, right? And I think that's why they are so hell bent on dying on this hill, right? Because look, they worked for people to become more acclimated to their just existence in general, and then they like speed ran. It went from, oh, it's just a couple of guys want to get married, to now this shit has to be in school books, right? Like, and it got there fast. Like, it wasn't like a progression that was like natural. It was, hey, 1 second you're like you want to get married, and that was it. And now it's, well, accept the sexual content in children's material, or you're a bigot. And it seemed like that happened in like over.
I'll take the bigotry, thank you.
Yeah,
exactly. because you're talking as if bigotry is a bad thing, but you know what? Bigotry isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah,
bigotry can be a very good thing, and in this instance, it's a big pro.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
It's a huge difference between the gay community just wanting to have something like marriage or something equivalent to marriage. That they can make a litigious commitment to each other. Then this group of people that have usurped that organization. I think that there was a lot of voices out there from the gay community who in themselves are absolutely fucking sick of this. We see gays against groomers. We see LGB without the T. And what happens to those organizations? I mean, after all, they're gay. They're this minority. They're this that, the other. Oh no, they are pushed to one side. They are again now. They're the bigots. Now they're the white supremes. Now they're the.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's so crazy how that works. It's as if the whole thing is a bunch of fucking political bullshit that has got an external factor governing it and pushing it. Because why wouldn't you accept them and understand their voices and appreciate that? Oh no, so yeah, I think anyone that is defending the shrooming of children, I've got to also. Oh, must be one of my Christmas presents going off in the backyard. Yeah, I think there should be a first reaction to it.
Well, it's disgusting. I mean, we're not like, let's be clear here. Like, you have to be a perverse, fucked up person to think that this shit is okay. And I get it. For a while there, and especially in 2020, they were able to pimp a bunch of people, especially guilty white leftists, right, into basically kowtowing everything that they wanted to implement, right? It was either accept this, embrace this, or you are a bigot, homophobe, racist, whatever the buzz term that they wanted to use, right? So
the word they need to use is correct, and we're trying to fight you on it.
Right, exactly. But they throw those buzz terms out, but it's a way to sort of weaponize, let's say, like this sort of social status, right? It's like, you don't want to be to you and I. It's like, I don't really give a fuck if you're gonna lump me in with these other people.
Social credit bullshit.
Bingo.
It's commie fucking bullshit.
It is commie bullshit. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's commie bullshit, and they're like, unfortunately, there's a large amount of people, especially during that period of time, that were terrified at these weirdos, right? And they believed that, look, it was worth just going along with all of the BS, all the bullshit. It was worth it to do that because at least they couldn't be called a bigot, homophobe, because for whatever reason they value that more than, let's say, preserving the sanctity of women's sports or schools or whatever you want to list. They cared more about, again, that social status, right? And so now you're at least getting, at least from the normie perspective, there's a lot more people that are normies, and it took them way too long to get to this point. But some of them have got to the point and realized, well, this shit is absolutely fucking crazy, right? And it's just not as effective, right? Definitely, it's a lot more people that are more like you and I that are like, you know what? You're gonna call me whatever you're gonna call me anyway. I don't fucking care. Yeah. You have no power here. You're gonna call me, rattle all this bullshit off, and say because they don't want this nonsense in schools or in children's media or whatever, and you're gonna call us a bigots or what? So what? Go for it, right? Go for it.
Sticks and stones, buddy. Sticks and stones. You know?
Exactly. It's like whatever.
Sticks and stones will break my bones, but your degenerate way of life will never fucking hurt me.
So yeah, it's what we saw was a spin on that, right? And I do wonder still what this means for a Disney, right? I don't for once think that this is like a case of, well, they're going to correct course with some of their other future media, right? I just don't.
Did I hear you correctly? They said the character's still in.
The character is correct. Yes, the character is still there, right? The character is still there. There's just bits of the storyline or what have you that they remove, but the character, yes, is still that character that was centered around all that is still in the actual show, right?
I don't know. Sorry, dude. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt, but yeah, this shit just fucking gets me, because I don't think there is a single parent out there that isn't an insane white fucking liberal fucking West Coast Californian dick fuck that wants to talk to their children about fucking trans issues.
Right.
So this is a very specific demographic of insane Munchausen by proxy fuckwits, urinal lickers that want to do this. So no, regular parents, normal fucking parents, they don't go, do you know what? I think I'm going to speak to my 6-year-old today about fucking trans issues, hey, little Pete, sit down. Let's discuss why this 35-year-old man with a beard feels the necessity to walk into a woman's changing rooms. Right.
Yeah, it's weird. It is. As one of their employees said, it is weird. It's weird. But I don't for once believe that, and I don't think this is black pill. I'm just a realist. Because I don't look at any of those companies like, oh, well, in order for Western entertainment to thrive, they must exist. I don't believe that. So if they go all the way down, it's whatever. It's whatever to me. That said, yes, it is at least somewhat significant, I guess, worth talking about as we are having this conversation now, that people are, or at least Disney finds it to be something worth removing. And let's be honest, they were going to remove this shit for the Chinese audience anyway. That's probably the version that they're putting out anyway. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's not like they didn't have already planned, but at least it was something that they saw that they felt like it was not worth it to leave it in, and they wanted to remove it, right? And the statement in itself, as I read, maybe some of you guys got in here a little late. It's, when you hear them say, yeah, we understand that parents would rather some of these conversations be had amongst themselves as opposed to, let's say, being in their media. That's exactly what I was about to say. It's like, if you're looking at it just the statement alone, absolutely, right? That is the correct statement for sure. It's just not one that they believe in. And and they've shown that they don't believe in. And unless they have gutted their entire company for the most part, I don't for once believe that that's going to be the perspective moving forward. Don't believe it at all. I'm pretty sure you're going to get a lot of stuff, but I do wonder why. Still, I just out of sheer curiosity that they at least thought that it was bad enough to say, you know what?
If they believed that character would never have been created to go into the show, right?
Yeah.
So this is purely we're expecting a huge backlash. We've just finally got a little bit of good press with Wicked. It's done well at the cinema. Now we could again undo this all. No. This isn't we think it's conversations that should be had. This in itself is a little bit cheeky because it's saying, hey, the character's there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, adults, parents, white liberal fucking rhino lickers from California, do you want to talk to your kiddies about this? But like I said, a normal parent would be like,
yeah, exactly.
I want to be able to put my kid in front of the TV while I get on with something, cooking, cleaning, whatever it is, without some shrooming shit going in there. I just want them to have something fun and wholesome and entertaining that they can watch. This isn't shit for children.
No, not even close. This is for them.
And the amount of times, it's everything. It's every fucking show. It's every show. It's every movie. It's every fucking comic. The representation is so off the fucking charts, based on reality, that it doesn't even make fucking sense. So you want to talk about representation? Yes, I agree. Representation is complete and utterly skewed because you are so overrepresented.
Oh man, holy shit!
It is upset. We're kind of like, holy shit, there was a straight couple in there, you know. And even rarer now, the rocking horse shit is you got a straight freaking white couple in there, and it's like, this is the fucking mecca. This is the fucking absolute rocking horse. So
yeah,
no, the representation is absolutely skewed right now, and it's skewed completely against the amount of representation that's actually in shit.
Yeah, there's overrepresentation. It definitely when it comes to all the gay shit, like 100%. I mean, and it's not enough. It'll never be enough. I covered, and I can't remember if we covered this on the show, but I know I at least maybe it was on For Canon's Sake. Every year, look forward to that. By the way, GLAAD comes up with some massive report, right? And they talk about, this amount of we went up from last year 2%. As far as representation of lesbian, gays, and whatever in X amount of it. So they collect and compile all the data. And when you look at it, comparatively speaking, to their population, from what we understand, especially out here in the West, guys, and I get it, I live in Texas, so maybe some people would say, yeah, it's easy for you just to not see gay folks all over the place because I live in the South. But I think most people are like that. Like, you don't just walk outside for the most part, unless you are into one of those contained areas where they all like exist, right? So the Seattle or whatever, over there where it's like that's just where they all happen to gravitate towards these uber leftist cities.
Shrews of a feather stick together, mate.
But the vast majority of the country, especially in like America's case, Middle America, South, it's not like that. I mean, you'd be lucky to ever run into a trans person. Like, not even joking. Like, it's not that common. But if you watch the media, and it is, which is ironic, considering that these are all these folks that are like they're obsessed with representation. And it's a virtue to them. To me, it's worthless. Like, I don't give a fuck about it. Like, it's something good. I'm all about meritocracy. The makeup of it is irrelevant to me if it's a exclusively black thing, but whatever they're producing just happens to be awesome. Great. But if it was voluntarily arrived and they all happen to be white, fantastic. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but they have obsessed with it. Oh, well, if it's not this specific makeup, then you would think that something is incorrect or wrong. But to them, if you look at all their data, it's overrepresentation, but still they don't feel like it's enough.
It's never enough.
That's the thing.
There's 10 white people, 10 straight white males in the company. It's not enough. We need to change it. Okay, one of the straight white guys leaves. They put in a gay white guy. Okay, now we've got representation. No, because everyone's still white. Okay, right. Okay, so another straight white guy's got to go out, and now we're going to bring a black person into the company. Right. So okay, now we've got a gay guy, we've got a black guy, we've got 8 white guys. How's that? Straight white guys. How's that now? Wait, so where's the women? Oh, right. Okay, fuck. Okay, so we get rid of the black. No, we can't get rid of that guy. Why? Because he's part of. Oh, fuck. Okay, right. So we get rid of the gay guy. No, can't get rid of the gay guy. Okay, right. Oh, I guess it's another straight white man. Out he goes. And then you bring in a woman. Okay, so now we've got a woman, we've got a gay guy, we've got a black guy, and they've got 7 straight white guys in the company. Productivity's now down a bit because they weren't the best people, but they tick boxes, everything okay. Well, the woman's white.
Right.
Well, where's the black woman? Oh my god. Okay. So it's an escalation. It's never going to stop. And even if you got fucking 10 black lesbians working at your company, and it's like, well, where are the trans? And then you get rid of some of the lesbians, you put some of the trans in, and it's just like, well, where's the fucking this new pronoun or new fucking ethic? It's never enough. And if you want to play that game with your company, just burn your money. Just burn your money. Jaguar, we've opened up 12 DEI groups. Congratulations. You just made a big pink gay piece of shit.
Right.
Which nobody's going to touch, you know? Oh, look, that new Jaguar in British racing pink.
Fuck.
The Jaguar are known for, you know? Well, this is the new Jaguar. Yeah, it's a new Jaguar. It's a fucked in the mouth Jaguar. That's what it is. Because you and your fucking DEI fucking retardedness came into the company, said, oh, we need a group for gays, we need a group for black women, we need a group for black gay women, we need this for that, we need that for that. And resources just get pumped in, and then those people in those groups start like, well, do you know what? I'm not fucking mentally well, so I shouldn't be at work today. So I'm now going to cost the company money by constantly taking time off. Now I need an operation for this or an operation for that. I'm on SRIs. I'm taking a mental health day for this. And your company's just getting fucking rammed in the fucking ass at every fucking turn.
Yeah.
And the guy's just like, you know what? I just want to make fucking cars, mate. I just want to make cars.
Yeah.
So there's no. So if you want to play that game, good. Your company's fucked. I've got no sympathy for you whatsoever. We've seen it in so many different organizations. Most of them crumbling and falling apart at the seams. Western gaming, games journalism, movies, TVs, education's falling apart. Governments are crumbling. You know, it's you do this, you carry on and go ahead, but it's not going to be productive for your company. I just want the best people. I don't care who they are. If there's 10 straight white guys, I'll take them. If the 10 bloody trans lesbians, Muslim, which is, you know, they think that sort of thing, I'll take them. If they're the best fucking people, if they're the ones that are going to give me the best results, the best turnover, the best money, best ideas, I'll take them.
Right.
But box ticking by its own definition weakens your company with every box that's ticked.
Absolutely. Because you're not bringing them in based on merit.
Exactly. Every time you turn your back on the meritocracy, that's it. Your company becomes weaker and weaker until you get your vices, your what was it? I can't even remember what it's fucking called. That stupid B organization. Oh, good. My brain's dead. Oh, good. Thank you. My brain is actually healing. It's just like, no, we don't need to know about that company anymore. Yeah, all these organizations that are now just crumbling and crumbling, massive layoffs. Western gaming, game failing. Hey, look, we made Dragon Age games. Got to do Dragon Age, but I self-inserted my fucking transism and then made myself look like a complete fucking retard because that's what I am. Nobody bought my game. This trend, great. Keep on doing it. It's great. It's hilarious. It's wonderful to see companies destroying themselves in real time.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like, I mean, just when you think you're kind of over the hill with this, like, all right, guys, you guys got so invested in a lot of this goofy stuff. You think that we're over it, and then a Jaguar happens, you know, and then you're like, what the fuck is, like, clearly we're not there yet. And there's something else that's new that ends up getting released. There's a subject matter that we're going to be talking about here in a little bit in the gaming space. And it's just very, very interesting how these guys don't seem to learn. about they don't learn anything. It doesn't feel like it is. It feels like they analyze it and may even identify the actual problem, but it doesn't result into an actual change.
How do you learn when you're in a bubble?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not being exposed to anything else.
Yeah,
Right.
you force everybody out that doesn't have the same opinion as you, that doesn't have the same fucking lifestyle as you, and all your opinions go around this fucking circular group of fucking weirdos. That's what you create.
Right.
That's what you fucking create. And they're just like, and you add on top of that the absolute arrogance of these people that you need to be educated. You need to see things from our perspective. Do you know what? No, we fucking don't. Nobody does.
Right.
Nobody gives a rat's ass in the real world. But you've been so secluded in your bubble. That's all you ever see. That's all the same opinion, the same ideas. That everything's just as we now coin it, toxic positivity.
Mm-hmm.
No, if anybody speaks out, actually, I don't think it's a good idea. Well, we don't think that you're suited for us.
Yeah, we don't think you're a good idea. Get out.
So you're out. Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Okay, it's pink Jaguar Gamermobile. Because now, if all Jaguar says with this new shit is by Jaguar, I love bumming men. And it's not a slogan that most drivers want to get behind.
Yeah, true.
Particularly from a brand like Jaguar that was very hyper masculine.
Right.
Very suave, almost kind of James Bond-esque.
Absolutely.
All that racing heritage behind it. I mean, that's why it's called British Racing Green. A lot of racing heritage behind it. And now you just got some guy go, I fuck dark guys in the ass. And so that's my car. And normal people are just like,
what? Yeah.
Come again, mate. It's such a disconnect. It's such a disconnect from reality.
Yeah.
Of these people versus who they're actually meant to be targeting. And the prices of these cars are so fucking high for Jaguar. They got rid of the mid-range. They've got rid of an affordable.
Yeah,
range.
it's a luxury vehicle.
Yeah, it's a luxury vehicle for rich gay people.
Now, yeah, for rich homosexuals.
So if that's your target audience?
Yeah. And I just they even have competition there. I mean, they got to compete with the guys. Maybe not now, and I guess maybe they're trying to corner the market on the rich gay men because Subaru's got them. They're going to have everybody else.
They got the lesbians.
Yeah, for sure. So
they got them locked down.
Yeah. So
as well as U-Haul, obviously.
So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I did want to move on to another again before we get to some of the gaming stuff. Another interesting deal that's going on. I know. Shout out to that park place because I know that in the article they talk about Craven as well. I don't think anybody really anticipated that was going to do well, but it is very, very interesting that the Lord of the Rings, especially with you being across the pond, I wanted to talk to you about it, is not seeming to do well. They document here that it drew just 4.5 million on 2,600 screens, including the international box office. That's terrible.
Oh, that's
ISOM almost made as much money. But says the film grossed a little over 8 million in its opening weekend. The budget for this animated film was around 30 million, factoring marketing and theater cuts. It's going to probably make 100. It has to make more than 100 million to turn a profit.
If it's a 30 million budget, you're looking at 80 to 90 million to break even.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like they're going to get that unless word of mouth gets these people very, very intrigued by it. But yeah, I guess
it's down to 100.
Yeah, because what's the name? I know the other two. What came out recently? Moana, as well as there's something else that Sonic just dropped as well.
Sonic 3 is dropping. No, it hasn't dropped yet.
Okay.
But Sonic 3 is dropping in a couple of days' time, which is probably going to do big business comparative to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
They've re-released Interstellar Interstellar is beating Lord of the Rings.
Wow. So I know that. Look, I guess what they thought is that they couldn't look at. I'll give you plenty of time to kind of talk about, some of the direction of what their, I guess, the approach. Let's say that, and with this storyline, it does show that despite both manga and anime having these very robust, like kind of baked in audiences, it's a hit worldwide. You can't just really just slap an anime skin on something now and expect it to just make money, right? And it didn't work for Lord of the Rings here. But considering obviously Rings of Power, and now we're going into this, what were your thoughts when we first heard about this being put out by Warner Bros? I mean, I know we talked about it a little bit, but like I say, you're across the way. We know and obviously it's a lot more personal for sure. We're dealing with Tolkien's material. So, what were your initial thoughts on like this damn thing getting made in the first place?
Well, I mean, we kind of thought that it was Warner's response to the terrible Rings of Power.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was potential optimism there. There was like cautious optimism that okay, Warner are going to put out this War of the Rohirrim. It could be excellent. This animated feature. We saw some kind of like concept art, and it's just like, oh, okay, this could be good. This could be like the big fuck you to Amazon. And then when we discover that they're just going to girl boss it, and that kind of got people worried. Okay, and then people have seen it and they're just like, oh, it's actually shit. It's actually just another fucking piece of shit. The girl boss, bestest ever, solves everything herself, doesn't need any help. The men are weak, ineffectual, typical kind of presentation of males today. This weird sort of target a female audience that does not exist at all.
It's not there.
And yet, we keep getting told that we're sexist this and sexist that. If the target audience is bringing more women to the cinemas, bringing more women to your product, where are they?
Yeah.
Because clearly you're not appealing to women either.
Facts.
Women don't like bitches, women like well-written female characters as much as men like well-written female characters. This boring girl boss trope is so thin. It's thinner than my fucking hair, mate. We're so fucking done. So, and it didn't subvert anyone's expectations. It was just like, oh, this looks like it's going to be, and it is, and it is.
Yeah.
So, just take it all fucking burn. Like I said, let them destroy themselves in real time. I don't care. I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see. Well, we're so happy with our product. We're happy with the message that we conveyed. I mean, we lost hundreds of fucking millions of dollars in the process. All these companies that are doing that. Oh yeah, our stock price went down 8 billion when we spat in the face of our Gillette customers, but it was worth it for the message. Was it?
Yeah, was it?
Was it?
And if your CEO is saying some dumb shit like that, board probably needs to get him the fuck out of there.
Now the board just been
yeah. Like, excuse me?
Excuse me, sir? You think losing 8 billion of our money so you could go, hey, look, there's a trans person that can now shave due to hormone blockers. By the way, men are pieces of shit. Bye. You think that's a good marketing strategy? Sir, would you like to get the fuck out, sir? Sir, would you like to GTFO, sir?
So yeah, it's not doing well. I mean, look, when you do spend $30 million, I mean, even in animation is cheap. It isn't cheap, excuse me. So you're already up against it. It is a reason why, especially with the Japanese, and why they treat it like a loss leader anyway. It's not going to be a whole lot of money in it. It's very difficult to get a return considering just how much it costs. But obviously, the goal is to have that sell more things, right? That's the whole goal. That's why many of those bigger Japanese anime companies, producers rather, they are okay with the loss, right? It's like, well, it's fine, but it's getting people knowledgeable about the property, and this is going to sell toys, it's going to sell merchandise, it's going to sell books, it's going to sell other things that we know that we're going to get a return on. So it's worth it. So for this though, between Warner and all those guys, they're going to lose money, and it's not going to turn into like a newer, younger, enthusiastic fan base for. And maybe that was the attempt. I don't know. For Lord of the Rings, maybe that was the goal, right? It's like, okay, well, the young people, they're in anime, right? Let's just slap an anime sort of skin on some Lord of the Rings stuff, and they'll be into it. They'll be all the way into it, and it's just going to turn into everybody, I guess, that license tokens properties. We're going to make all kinds of money on it, or maybe it's going the other way where they're licensing it, and they think that they're going to make more money off of it, and it's just, by all accounts, not going to work. So yeah, it's unfortunate because you got, it's fresh on your mind, right? You got Rings of Power, and then you go into this, and neither one of those obviously are being or seem to be well received by fans of the Lord of the Rings. And that's it's crying shame.
Oh well.
crying shame. All right, so I got to get back into some we got to get into some gaming stuff, right? I'm going to just let this play. We're not going to hear any audio because I know that we've all seen it, right?
I can tell you when I mute it before it's a scene comes in. Which is a banging tune, by the way, by Pet Shop Boys.
All right. Naughty Dog. Very divisive Last of Us 2. Okay, they've done a bunch of fucking remakes and masters and shit on other stuff, I know. But Last of Us 2 was a very divisive piece of work. We did stop hearing about how much they were selling.
Within the first 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So, this is when you're looking at this type of protagonist, female protagonist, is exactly what I look for as shaven.
Ugly, flat,
That's exactly what I like to look at.
Works for me.
But this was, from at least what reports are saying, they started to build this out in 2020, and we know that we know what happened then, with especially with the passing of St. George Floyd.
He died across things. Yeah.
Yes, he did. And after that, all the companies started to signal. And it looks like, this was made within right in the middle of that. Okay. Now, what I do find interesting is that this is it'd be one thing if this was just another isolated property, which again, it's a new IP, so whatever, take from that, whatever that you made. That said, though, they are coming off of Last of Us 2. So you would think that and Druckmann is the creative director there. You would think they'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this isn't the route that we go.
No.
And apparently this is exactly the route.
Cuckers is all in.
Yeah.
Cuckers he's on his hands and knees begging to be pegged by this woman, right?
So, again, this is, let me just pause this. Like, this is your protagonist. Now, I don't know how exactly this character is going to develop during the storyline.
I'm gonna guess not at all. I'm gonna guess that
you don't think there's going to be a bunch of skins, like maybe a Stellar Blade.
Oh, unless the skins are different types of I Hate Men t-shirt,
like a different color jacket that has some version of activism and shit. That's basically
jacket. All our jackets are different colors of the pride flag, or different pride flag color, whatever. It's all made up anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. You think you're gonna be a skin where she's an attractive woman?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm only joking.
So okay. This is your protagonist. And look.
Lesbians in space, got it.
As if we have not seen that at all recently. But seriously, and I brought this point up last night. Damn the sexualization, right? It's an unappealing character, regardless of how you feel about it, right? You're trying to convince people to get behind this, which sounds like, this is what Naughty Dog has been producing as of late. These types of games, very narrative driven, on the rails. You follow the journey. It's like all these guys who have desires to make these turn into movies are writing these video games, right? This is what I'm willing to bet this will be as on the rail as The Last of Us and all that, which again, look, it worked out for them for some of their properties. Great, fantastic. They're going to keep up with this, but this time you get it in whatever that is. Now, I know that some people have uncovered, though, maybe that's important, maybe it's not, maybe it had influence. I don't know, that the actress that this is based on is very much a activist, for lack of better terms.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. So checks all the boxes there. You get some. I don't know personally if she's gay, lesbian. I have no idea. Though she is an activist, at least in that regard. So we've seen some of her interviews as such, talking about like how some of this stuff is not enough regarding like you got to kind of embrace and accept these trans folks or whatever.
No, don't.
You don't. But they believe that you must do that. So I do believe Shakira kind of nod here. This whole section here. But yeah, man, this doesn't get you stoked. Fresh kicks, by the way, Adidas. At least it's not Jordan 1s.
It's just it's a Porsche ship. It's Adidas, Adidas in the UK.
It's Porsche, yeah, Porsche. You got Adidas, Sony, obviously.
It's advertising. It's just
it's a big ad. Yeah. From the studio that brought you Crash. Those guys, it's funny to brag. Those guys are all gone, by the way. Yes. Jack, Crash Bandicoot, Uncharted, okay. I think Druckmann came in, I think, on the last, maybe it was the third or fourth Jack was when he finally got brought on, right? That was his first project with Naughty Dog. But all those OGs are out of there. So while it's the same studio, those guys ain't there anymore.
No. And then Amy Hennig out, who wrote the good Uncharted stuff.
Exactly. But looking at some of it's not necessarily gameplay, but hey, sword kicking ass of a robot, whatever. Intergalactic. How stoked are you on this ass?
On a scale of what?
Say 1 to so Az is not looking forward to Intergalactic, the heretic prophet.
I am looking forward to making a lot of money playing it on stream. while everybody laughs.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time. We'll make some fun.
Yeah,
we'll make some fun out of it. I mean, whether or not I'm so tired. I am so tired, Eric.
What's the? I don't know I say this seemingly about everything that we're seeing these days. Why? Or I'm asking that question. Because I guess I'm trying to look at this a little too rationally, right? Where I'm like understanding the context. You came off of a very divisive game. Mm-hmm. You would think your next project would be a little more safe. And like I said last night as well, in order for this to like absolutely just destroy expectations, gameplay wise, this is going to have to be something cutting edge. Are we going to get that? Probably not. But that's what would have to happen because it's not off to a great start. We do know that they've disabled some comments. They've, what else? It has been getting ratioed, whatever that means to you. Because look, if the people, whoever this is supposed to appeal to, come out in great numbers, how we feel about it doesn't even matter. Okay. It's like that. We said that with Dragon Age. It's like, look, man, the people that you were trying to appeal to didn't show up. It wouldn't even matter. We could say that, this is goofy. This isn't Dragon Age. But if they showed up and it translated to a profitable project, hey man,
no
power to you. What I've
look, you put this trailer right. You not only don't put this trailer out. This is a brand new IP that is meant to get people excited, right?
Right.
So you're putting a teaser out. So you want to hear what potential audience has to say, right? Right. But apart from they disable the comments.
That's a good point.
So they don't care whatsoever. Cockman, like I said, he's too busy sucking a wooden fucking dildo while taking it from behind by another fucking femdom. He doesn't care. This is all about, this is what you should. This is us educating you. It's this elitism piece of shit from these absolute privileged fucks that have no idea what life is really about. In actual fact, their lives are so privileged and opulent that they get bored. And so that's why you start creating genders. That's when you start creating sexualities. That's when you start fucking trying to find victimhood and privilege, which these people do all the time. No fucking regular person. I don't think any normal person who's interested in space game or Soulsborne-esque game can see a character like that and go, oh, that looks like a really interesting character to me. That looks like a really interesting character that kind of exudes that personality, charisma, whatever it may be, that makes me say, hey, I wanna go on that journey with them. No. It just looks like some fucking West Coast Californian fucking bint, ironing board fucking same echo chambered, opinionated twat. No men in the train, of course. 2 women, 2 girl bosses, girl bossing each other. Oh my god, going in. There's nothing appealing there. Physically, did they look appealing? No. Personality-wise, did they come across as interesting? No. Are we sick to the back teeth of these fucking these ugly, pig, fucking ugly girl boss characters fucking leading franchises? No. And it's reflected in the ratio, 64k upvotes, 153k downvotes.
Damn.
Naughty Dog disabled comments because they don't want to hear what their actual audience has to say, because they're like, you need to be taught, you need to be learned. Okay, we're going to learn you on how you should. Fuck off. Let them do it. Let them do it. That's
what I say. I mean, look, man, I'm saying this as a former big fan of Last of Us. People know that I used to stream all the time playing the factions online. I collected a lot of hours on that damn game, right?
But let's not pretend The Last of Us was a great game because of its gameplay. Its gameplay was like okay.
Well, no, it was pretty clunky. If we're gonna be completely honest,
for the story of the first game.
Absolutely, yeah, it was pretty fucking clunky, for sure. It's been that way, and yeah, it's not the gameplay of 2. Haven't played just a little bit of it. It's much of the same thing. It's not very responsive, but yeah, it's a narrative driven game, and that's what they're specializing in, especially now. They're not the Crash Bandicoot days. Those are over with now.
Well, they're gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I will say that where the game kind of plays itself per se, where it's really on the rails. These are things that as gaming has become as massive as it has, that maybe there's some attraction there, right? There are people that play, I guess. I'm not one of them as much anymore, that are just strictly for the narrative. So if you are strictly, but that's the thing, you got to absolutely kill it there. And why on earth, if you're going to keep me on the rails, would I want to play as some unappealing character or try to get invested in this unappealing character? As a question that I think this comes out 2026, 2027. May not come out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how they respond. So it'll be interesting to see some more material as it comes out. Before we move on, really quick, I wanted to get your thoughts. I know you're a Witcher guy, having saw what was going to go down with the Witcher 4. How you feeling about CD Project Red?
I had issues with the trailer. I went through them. You know, there's not mass panic, but there was some weird shit. There was things like Siri. They really kind of like played with the jawline. So we got this more masculine looking Siri on the face. The face to me just doesn't look right. I know she's a bit older, but still, Siri was 21 in The Witcher 3. She kind of looks like she's knocking on the door of 40 in this. But I bet it's only like 5 years later or something. But the jawline just doesn't feel right. The sort of angles doesn't feel right. The beginning section just seemed to be a complete sort of rip off of Midsummer. Siri made a horrendous mistake in the trailer. She saw how riled up the villagers are to make the sacrifice every year.
Right.
So Siri decides to send a woman back to the village instead of just stay here, stay here, don't move. So she went. So when she goes back, and the woman has been killed by the villagers because they wanted to maintain the sacrifice. Didn't make a lot of sense. And then Siri does the whole they're not gods, they're not monsters, you're the monsters type of thing. It's just like, well, we had a much better trailer that did that with The Witcher 3. So they copied their own homework. So I was very disappointed with the first look at The Witcher 4. Siri's now using Witcher abilities. Why? Women can't survive the mutations. That's why it's young boys. Adults can't survive the mutations anyway. She didn't have the mutations in The Witcher 3. So why has she undergone the mutation change? How she survived it? Are they going to provide a good reason for it? I'm going to say probably not. It's going to be a kind of, well, she's the woman of time and space and something or other, so she did the thing and it worked. Because nothing in the West is exciting me right now. It's just none of it. Everything's just taken with such skepticism.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, it's hard not to believe that all of the investment and everything else other than the games has to have something to do with, I guess, their direction in the future, right? We've covered the whole ESG, or rather, DEI commitment and all the social bullshit and all that. And look, I believe CD Project Red to already have been compromised due to that, right? We just saw how that played out. Now, again, I know there's some split decisions, let's say that, on Siri. I mean, it was kind of, I guess some people are trying to make sense of it, or saying that if you've played definitely Witcher 3 and going seeing the direction that some of that stuff was going, it was an inevitable thing. But I just really do wonder how that's going to go over with fans of the series. I don't know. It's hard to say. And like I said, CD Projekt Red is going to have to, much like Intergalactic, maybe not as bad. They're going to have to, they got to come up with something, right? And that they're going to have to do something with this game, I think, for people to feel good about it. That's cutting edge as an RPG, especially. And we were promised that in Cyberpunk, didn't get it. Do we get it in Witcher? Or do we think
if we were, then why is there just a bog standard Witcher now? It kind of feels like a massive regression.
Fair.
She's got the Elder Blood. Why couldn't the game explore her powers completely differently? And I think there's a large difference between 2015 and 2024. That when The Witcher came out, The Witcher 3 came out, Ciri was a good character in The Witcher 3. It's a fun character. And, when they said this is Geralt's story over now, Yeah, sure. People probably thought, okay, maybe it's going to be Siri takeover, and they're okay with that. But there's a big difference between that time and this time. A lot's fucking happened. A lot of craziness has happened, and a lot. So you have to really reflect and say, is this going to be the same? I mean, the vast majority of people that worked on those games are gone, all gone, all gone. Some of them to Rebel Wolves, created Rebel Wolves Studio. Rebel Wolves are remaking The Witcher 1. So I'm more optimistic about the Witcher 1 remake than I am the Witcher 4 right now.
Interesting.
CD Projekt Red used to be a company that I would absolutely have my faith in, but after the cyberpunk business and then the fucking bullshit.
Good accent.
I got absolutely no faith in any of these companies. None.
Yeah.
You gotta show me. You
Yeah.
gotta talk me into the seat. You know?
Absolutely.
It's not
Absolutely.
my job to be like, I'm in the seat because you are CD Projekt Red and this is The Witcher. No. It's come to the point where you've got to talk me into this into the the seat.
Yeah, it's not an automatic buy anymore, right? Or it's not an automatic like I'm gonna get enthusiastic about it. Let's say that, right? And I think that the same can be said for a lot of different customers, especially understanding the direction that a lot of these guys are going in. Like for me, obviously having been fans of Witcher, which I used to infamously call Glitcher, because but no, it's yeah, I think a lot of people gave CD Projekt Red a lot of credit. I'd argue more than what they should have as far as their good standing. Hey, they just thought because it was a company that said they weren't going to do microtransactions, all was forgiven. I think well, now I think people understand it. How they fucked up the Cyberpunk release, and I'm not talking about just simply how bad it was as far as it being basically unplayable on certain systems. I'm more so speaking to what that game was promised was the complete opposite, and still having had all this stuff being added to it. I know they just recently got another update. It is nothing like this life simulator RPG that it was promised to be. It was so much of that shit, and I've gone through all this. Some of my most watched videos on my channel are me talking about CD Projekt Red and that game because it was one I was really stoked to play. And I hyped it up even a little bit, though I went into it with some skepticism and I got a lot of heat for it. I remember early on, it was like me and like fucking Razor Fist that were basically like, hey man, I don't know about this shit. And I remember my views, not my views, just some of the, a bad ratio for a content creator is like 89%, right? Like, like so it wasn't like I was getting ratio, but on some of those videos of me saying, hey guys, this doesn't look like it's going in a direction that they said that this was supposed to be going in. Those videos were getting that percentage, and then it came out and it was unplayable on certain consoles, and we saw so much of that stuff was left out. It was like, I don't know about this fucking company, right? I was already skeptical about it. Now I'm especially, but I am a big RPG guy. I was a fan of Glitcher, right? That said, I'm the same. I see it the same way that you see it, where it's like, yeah, you got to sell me on it, and I think that's just a fair assessment for everyone. It's not automatic for me, but yeah, I would love to see, and we've talked about it a million times on this because you and I both are fans of like RPGs, MMOs. I'm looking for the next, the evolution, right, of the genre, right? And I thought that, well, not. They said it was gonna be Cyberpunk. It wasn't, for sure. And we haven't got that really with anything that's coming out. Dragon Age for sure as hell didn't do it. That didn't do it. And there hasn't been that. There's been like maybe some decent action RPGs that have come out, but there's nothing that's like, oh man, this is like gonna set the tone for the next. This is where everybody is gonna try to mimic. Is gonna set the tone for the next decade for the genre. We have not got that. And is Witcher 4 going to be that? Is it going to have something? I say that would be what would have to sell me on it. Serious side would be exactly that. They would have to do something to this shit that's going to take it to the next level, take this genre to the next level.
I was really hoping that The Witcher 4 was going to be create your own Witcher.
Oh fuck, dude! I would have been all over that. Oh man, that would have been cool. That would have been really cool. I didn't expect them to do that at all, but hearing you say that, that would have been fucking sick.
You know, you do it a la Mass Effect. You can have a male voice actor and a female voice actor. You create the character.
Body type A, body type B.
Body type A, yeah. Body type 1, body type 2. You know?
Yeah, body type 2, yeah.
So you got a body type 1 voice actor and a body type 2 voice actor. You know? And then a Stephen Hawking's fucking voice box if you want. You know, for the hormone blockers.
Of course.
And you know, I was hoping that they're kind of going to do that, and then you could put your own character into a story.
Yeah.
But in 2024, to kind of hear that Siri was going to be helming it, I gotta say, after the Witcher TV show, which is an absolute pile of shit, love Henry Cavill, but it's a pile of dog shit. Everything that's happened over the last near decade, CD Projekt Red's DEI ESG capitulance, the fact
that can't be overlooked.
No, it cannot, because the CEO, of course, lied recently, saying, "No, we don't hire on this; we hire on merit."
Bullshit.
And their website's like, "Men can't apply for this job. this is an award for women who are bleeding, and they get time off a month, and then the men have to fucking, you know, push the extra workload. You know, great." You know, so you know, we've got this DEI scheme, we got this ESG scheme. Are you black? Want a job? Well, come to us. Or you know, it's just like, oh my god. But no, honestly, we hire on the meritocracy. No, you don't hire on merit. You might hire some people on merit, but you hire a lot of people not based off merit, and that's why your companies are now fucked.
Right.
So. No, I am very skeptical of this company now. I have massive love for the Witcher series 1, 2, 3. Massive love for them. They were made by great people that clearly had a very solid vision. And I think every single Witcher game from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3 was a legitimate evolution in the series. It is a legitimate evolution in storytelling as well. And I just don't think in 2024, in current day, people are allowed to have those sort of stories anymore. They're not going to have that sort of masculine. I think we're going to get a lot of the typical tropes because we're now Bubble Brigade. It's all Bubble Brigade. No. CD Projekt Red have got to. Now I'm a streamer, of course, so there's there's a high chance I'll get it to stream.
Yeah.
And then make my audience make their own determinations. Say, you know, you hold back on your coin, see what you think, and then if you like it, look of it, you know, by all means, splash out. But as a gamer mentality, I think we're all kind of the opinion, or certainly getting to the opinion that there's no guarantee sale no more.
No,
there's no company.
It's no automatic.
Yeah, that were just like, oh, it's from so and so, no problem. Here's my dog.
From software, maybe.
Yeah, but with that I'm talking
Western.
I'm talking Western.
Yeah, Western, absolutely not. There's none. I can't think of one. I can't think of one in the West. Not at all. Like, not off the top of my no, I can't think of one in the West, which is crazy. But yeah, it's look, nothing's automatic anymore with these guys, and they get what they deserve as far as I'm concerned. This was a path that, for whatever reason, all of them in lockstep went together and said, you know what, this is kind of what we're going to go all in on. And you bring up a great point, and I think that's the point that a lot of folks that despise us don't focus on, right? Is that, look, any company that hyper emphasizes diversity, inclusivity, and all that other bullshit in their hiring practice, we know without a doubt, whatever they produce is going to be not as good as what it could have been.
Yes.
So even if that's okay, even if that's dog shit, whatever, because they're not bringing people in based upon what they can accomplish. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that there might be people that check a certain box that are accomplished. No, it's saying that you didn't have that as part of your practices. Your practices were, more exclusionary, right? In your approach, and you focused on all these other things as far as how you are bringing people in, right? The people that develop your games, set the tone for your culture. The people that you're bringing in must adhere to this, right? Or the theme of your company, right? It is going to adhere to these social beliefs and all that, which has absolutely nothing to do with video games. Nothing.
No.
Nothing. It has nothing to do with video games, and therefore your product is going to be again, it's just not going to be as good as what it potentially could have been because of that, right? It doesn't matter what your feelings are, because if you are trying to make the best that you possibly can make, and that does not mean that it's going to land. That's not a guarantee. That doesn't mean just because you don't have, or rather you do have this as a practice where you're just bringing people on based upon merit, that what you're going to produce is going to be adopted by everybody or loved or anything. It doesn't mean any of that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that gives you the best opportunity for that particular setup. But for sure, you guarantee that your product is going to be lesser than if in your hiring practice, you are discriminatory, essentially, by way of that stuff, which is it's ironic because they believe that the point is the opposite, right? They're bringing in all these people to representation when it's really more discriminatory,
Yes.
particularly among white men, than anything. Where if you had a blank slate and you said, look, we're hiring based upon these positions. Our number one goal is to make, let's say, a good video game or whatever vision it is that we have. We want to make sure that comes to life, and we want the development team to be the best suited for that. Your makeup may be exclusively one thing, and maybe it is a mix. Maybe you have a perfectly aligned ratio or whatever is akin to your population, but it's voluntarily arrived at that point where with this, it's not. With what we've seen as far as these hiring practices among all these companies in the West, it has absolutely nothing to do with any of that. It's check box first, and then we'll worry about everything else. And sure, maybe you are qualified, but everybody else that also could be qualified, maybe they happen to be a white dude or something of that nature, and they feel like they got too many white people. We're going to make sure that we get these people out. I mean, you got folks. I was talking about Avowed last week, right? Mm. You absolutely have people that are in these creative positions of power that are actively saying that, please come replace me. What type of, I almost said a fucking, a gamer word, but you have these types of people, man, that are.
He doesn't mean it though. We know he doesn't mean it.
That's fair.
If he wanted to be replaced, fucking quit. He said that 5 years ago, half a decade ago. He's still fucking cashing his
still there. He's still there. That's a good point.
It's look, me white man in game industry. I give myself to you, black people, brown people, gay people. Take my job, but I'm not going to leave.
Yeah,
I'm not going to put my money where my mouth is because I get paid very well here. Thank you very much indeed. I will try to give you a leg up and make myself white Jesus. But if you think you're getting my job, you ain't taking it till I'm ready and go, mate. All right?
Yeah. Yeah,
because that's what a fucking white liberal man, a white liberal woman, that's what they're all about. It's the projection. It's the bigotry of low expectation. You poor black, brown, gay people. You need the white man to lift you up. Yeah. You need us to give you that fucking, because only us have the legitimacy to do so.
Yes.
My skin doth provide me with privilege that you could not in any capacity comprehend. Just like you can't turn on a computer. In actual fact,
or get ID, by the way.
I don't think a lot of you have heard of computers. Yeah, that's the level of fucking retardation that we're dealing with. And with something like Intergalactic from Naughty Dog, I'm actually really pleased with the reaction to it, because does that mean that they're gonna respond and go, okay, well, let's tweak? No. It means that Naughty Dog are going to double down,
triple down, even hell.
Yeah, it's going to make it even worse, which is going to be great, absolutely great to see.
Yeah, because you bring up a great point there, because a rational company would say, "Oh shit, this didn't land." Sonic, Sonic, this design was dog shit. Let's go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the drawing board. And they did. And now we're on the third film. It's crazy, right? Crazy how that happens. And definitely with a company of that size, you think, all right, yeah, cool. And wouldn't that be, let's say a massive company did do that? You almost get like, because it almost never happens. And I mean, Sonic is our one example that we have of that. I feel like they would get even more favor if they said, hey, all right, we heard you. And we're talking about fans of Naughty Dog, right? Not just randos. We're talking about people that have had that were a fan of the Crashes, of the Last of Us's, and everything else, right? Jack and Daxter or whatever. They're saying that, hey, I don't think this is the move. And then you go back to the drawing board, or you tell the audience, like, we're going to revisit maybe some of our designs, some of our concepts, because we did give you guys a first peek, and it was divisive, to say the least. I feel like they will be in even more favor, especially with the gaming audience, if they did that. But with Druckmann at the helm, I don't think they got it in them.
No. It's quite the opposite. We're dealing with people. Cuckman, let's get his name correct, please. Cuckman hates games. Hates them. In actual fact, all I tend to see from your Ubisofts, your EAs, your BioWares, all of this, they hate games.
That's what it feels like.
It doesn't feel like it. It's a given. It's an absolute given. Because you can't produce this sort of shit. You can't put this kind of stuff out and think, yes, this is going to be accepted by audiences, our audiences. No, this is stuff which is put out, which is very leaning in a certain direction. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing that they want to do. They despise you, you know? People who like The Last of Us Part 1 due to its themes of family, due to its themes of father and daughter, due to its themes of loss and learning to love and trust again with that familial bond. Oh, no, that's all out the window. Now it's trannies in fucking Seattle in the apocalypse with big Abby Pump walking around going, oh my God, I'm an LGBTQIA plus two-spirited ally, but I will fucking golf club a bitch to death, okay? If they're a white, straight, hetero, cis-normative male. You know, that's what we got. And normal people saw that game and just...
What?
So if you think Intergalactic is going to be anything that is appealing to a standard gamer, no, because they despise you. This is a game that our characters are made for a specific audience, a specific far left leaning audience. Can't have them in any way, shape or form looking attractive, so we shave their head and we cut the tits off. Can't have them in any way, shape or form having any vulnerabilities. No, they've got to be some petulant fucking Arrested Development urinal liquor. Sucking on a fucking dick. Oh my God, please look at me. I'm just like uncontrollable. You know, part of your ADHD medication or something. So no, they're not going to create something that they're not going to sit down and reflect and say, okay, you know, maybe we've got kind of an extreme looking character here that's not no, because if they did do that, because they've created their own bubble, people would be like,
yeah, the guns will start turning in against each other, be a little Mexican standoff.
Yeah. Cuckman's been fucking bent over, taking up the shitter with the wooden fucking dildo for 10 years now. Oh, look at women in video games. Look at Lara Croft. She has breasts. Oh, how can I ever say to my 7-year-old daughter, look, a woman, and she has breasticles and hips? Oh, it's disgusting. They all should look like fucking Annie-Ford lesbians in space. And black, of course.
Of course.
Because don't need no crackers in our games.
That's true.
You know, Uncharted 4 was clearly a way to pull down Nathan Drake, make him ineffectual against the diverse woman, and then when they put out the other game, the other game with the 2 women in it, and it just fucking bombed to fuck.
Yeah, I almost forgot about it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Because who remembers it? Nobody. And then The Last of Us Part 2 comes out. Does it do anywhere near the sales they want? No, not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, well, like I said, we stopped hearing about it. We stopped hearing about it almost immediately as far as how good that game was doing. And we heard nothing else.
No.
There's a reason for that.
So this one here, working as intended.
Yeah.
In actual fact, I think they're going to be proud. I legitimately think.
Yeah, probably a company email went out from Drugman like, congratulations, guys, we did it.
We did it. We pissed off the straight, heterosexual, cis-normative white gamers who have been propping up our company for years and years and years. Yes, we managed to disable and get rid of our customer base and replace it with the non-existent broke-ass hormone blocker and antidepressant diet people from Seattle and West Coast California, and none of them have got money in it, and it's going to sell like shit. We won.
Well, I mean, more power to them. I will say, as we got to get a third for sure for this Elden Ring co-op shit.
Yeah.
I feel like that would make for some good ass content. That will bring me back. That game would bring me back to streaming video games.
Co-op Elden Ring, I'm all in.
Yeah.
All fucking in.
Yes. So I'm fucking excited for that. For sure. So yeah,
Which Western company made that?
Unfortunately, none of them. They all have names that I can't pronounce.
Okay, so it's not from a Western developer. Oh wow, this is crazy. Suddenly a game that we're excited about. Which part of the Western? Oh, we came from Japan, right? Okay, I have to go west in that direction then.
Yeah, you got to go way west,
way around the fucking globe for that one to come back on itself and be
way west is what you got to do. That's unfortunate.
Man.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to the Japanese, man. If nothing else, man. I'm excited for that. Okay, guys.
But again, it's something that people have asked for years and years.
It's like a legitimate. Damn, the summons is cool, right? But like for a legitimate like cooperative experience in that universe. As soon as I saw it, I was like, you bastards, man, you did it. You sons of bitches, you did it. I'm really, really excited about that. And I would love, we'll play it. We'll see how it is for sure. And I would love for maybe that to turn into even something else, right? Could you imagine a fucking Elden Ring or FromSoft MMO? Like not some of the gotcha shit. Like
what the raid bosses would be like.
Oh man, dude, these are $1 billion ideas, bros. He's $1 billion. But yeah, I would love to see the reception from this. Hopefully it's great. Hopefully it comes out fantastic, and hopefully they see that bottom line. It's like, hey, maybe this whole cooperative experience thing is we own to something. Maybe we own to something with
a little something.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Oh man. Hopefully, but I'm all over that. That's gonna be a very, very very, very exciting time, man. Stoked on that. All right, guys. I want to get to some of these super chats. I know we got some of those starting to pile up. I appreciate y'all joining us. For those of you that were late, yes, we know Az is speaking from the moon. It's okay. He's gonna
a new mic arriving tomorrow, so I should have it for Friday. Why would I need it for Friday? I don't know.
Oh no.
Who knows? Who knows why I'd need my new mic for Friday? I can't figure out any reason why I need it for Friday at all, especially Friday night. If I'm wearing tights.
Yeah. Why on earth would you do that?
I have no clue. No clue.
But yeah, he'll be back in full swing. But yeah, just want to throw that out there. All right. I'm gonna say, has anyone got Ice on cover D? I guess you're referring to the creators edition. You can still get that if you are Ultramac on Rippaverse.com. We still have some of those. So if you want that exclusive version of it, you can grab that. We'll have some other cool things we'll be doing with the memberships. We'll announce that soon enough. Josh Kelsey with a 20. There's nothing there. So can't really comment. Josh does this because he's cocky. So
he's a cocky ass.
Yeah. So shout out. And Zach with a 5 says they're going to be a roadmap for future releases so we can set up budgets, maybe not to name the comics, just so we can set stuff up for purchase. Great question. Soon we will have some announcements. Trust me on that. Perhaps by the end of the year, about what we're going to be doing in the future. Trust me, it's going to be well worth the wait. You guys know some of the properties that we got on the way, but trust me, it's going to be well worth the wait. That said, next year is going to be very interesting. Okay. We've been looking at kind of what our release schedule is going to look like, and it is going to be a pretty robust. Like we're a publisher, like guys. We are not some rinky-dink company. We are not a company that only has the resources to maybe like many others, and they do a fantastic job. Those that do, where they're only producing like a book at a time, right? A lot of length in between because they got day jobs and stuff. It's not how it works here. We got several creative teams. We have several different artists. We have, and we're a publisher, right? So we're going to have a lot of books that are going to be dropping very, very soon. Yeah, I have been. I know I've announced this probably for a year now, or I mentioned this for a year. Us looking at to like how does that technically look like as far as subscriptions, right? Not like membership stuff, but like if you said this series or anything, this character, just throw it in the bag. Like you just throw it in the bag. We're trying to figure out how exactly that's going to look. Okay, we're working on it. But yes, we will have some more information to answer your question, like that first question, at least that first bit of it. We'll have something for you very soon. Trust me on this. East Coast Toaster Boy says again, Bob Goat, both of them Disney Bobs. Yes, shout out. Well, he's dead, but my old goat Bob. Damn goat lived for a very long time. I gotta show y'all some pictures. I don't know. I showed the older picture of Bob. He has his full beard. But I named that. I was a kid when we got Bob, and Bob lived till I was what? That had to been like maybe right before the pandemic when he had passed. It was not that long. Eddie Goat lived a long ass time, man. But yeah, I was a literal kid when Bob got named, and he lived a long, healthy life. He thought he was a damn dog. But yeah, big shout out, Bob. I hear people's experience with the goats, and everybody's because he had these big ass horns, and like, was he always trying to ram us? Like, man, that dog, because we had Rottweiler when I was really young, and he hung out with Charlotte. That was the name of the dog, and that goat thought he was a dog. Like it did. It thought it was a dog. So, yeah. Creative says with a 5 says merch idea, a map of the US and the Rippaverse. But excuse me, as a poster, I got you. You can include Mexico and Canada as well. Interesting. Well, we'll have some information soon about the landscape of the Rippaverse. We got Noah Face with a 10. I would love to see a checklist of all Rippaverse books and ship them out with orders. Kind of old school Marvel. Oh, okay. I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Says what you think. I live in fear. I missed something. Yeah, we've tried to there's not, I guess, like at the end of the books, there's usually like a page or something that'll dedicate, and you'll see a bunch of books. Those not all of them, to your point, and it's not like an actual checklist where it'll say like, hey, go get the other Rippaverse books, and you'll see a bunch of shit there. But yeah, definitely I can see where something like that is going to be like something you need to keep up with. Definitely as our release schedule picks up next year. I will say the comic section of our website is something that you're going to want to pay attention to because that will keep you up to speed. I'll let you know everything that we release. It will go on that page. All right. We got Bruce with a 5. Can we show the shirt for Jordan and drop the link, everybody? This is a great cause if you grab a shirt and donate. We showed it earlier, but I will show it again. For you guys that don't know, one of our team members, Jordan, she's video asset manager. She manages our whole entire team that does all of our video editing. She's been an editor of mine personally, even long before the Rippaverse. Some of those long form videos that you guys saw when I used to do the video essays back in the day, those were edited by Jordan. Well, she recently got diagnosed with the cancer. She's been fighting that for a little bit now. And we are doing something for her in this shirt. So it's something you can get for pre-order right now, where all the net proceeds are going to go directly to her. We also have a link to her Give, Send, Go. If you don't care for the shirt and you just want to drop some money, you can do that. Again, make sure you be paying attention to, as I would say with any of these guys, as far as how much of the money they get. Go look at the process of Gifts and Goals information before you give a dime. But yes, that's available for you. It's a really, really cool shirt. It was designed by, of course, our team. I can't take credit for that at all. That was done entirely by our creative team. Big shout out to those guys, Igor and the team alike. They wanted to do something for us. She did not know about it. Once we announced it, it was something really, really cool to surprise her with. So links are in the description. Carol also just posted about it in the chat. And Zach with I just read that. That's the one I already did. DB with a 2 says, to achieve in comics, do you have to worship urinals? No.
Just lick them.
You don't have to do that either. In fact, you can stay away from those entirely and you'll be okay.
That's easy.
The traditionalist with a 20 says, I posted comics on my Discord, and some are saying many can't have the same success as because you already had a fan base. Others say if it's just about money, the product can be ruined, like the gaming industry. Your thoughts? Well, they almost sound like antithetical points, because to get to where we are at, I mean, we had to spend money. It takes money to make money, is the old saying. I had to invest 300,000 or so of my own money in order to make this happen, paying an artist and doing everything to make Isom 1 even a thing. That said, though, this will put this to rest, and I'll give you 2 examples. There are 2 creators, one of which is world renowned, let's say in the both gaming space and streaming space, and the other is just world renowned as a person. And I somewhat outsold both of them. One being, of course, you had Most Critical's project, God Slap. But if you want a more direct one and more obvious one, in Keanu Reeves, I like to think that I'm not as popular and as known as Keanu Reeves, and we outsold that. Our campaign did better than the first Berserk campaign. Okay, so that in itself shows you that it's not a direct 1-by-1. And I did a video on my creator business channel talking about this. Like, views don't equal sales. So if it sucked to the point to where the audience said, oh, well, yeah, who gives a shit? Yeah, it helps that people I built this rapport, but I also would mention people to say, you're essentially saying that those people, traditionalists, are essentially saying that I only have success because I had success. Is essentially what's being said. Because in order for me to get the following that I had in the first place, it took several years. I was a damn teenager when I first had my YouTube, of me delivering on especially artistic projects like my music, for a decade plus, right? Before I ever got to the position that I'm in now, to where I built a rapport with my audience, to where they know that if I do something, I'm going to deliver it, and I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities, right? So but those are examples, at least, of, hey, just because you have a following doesn't mean you're going to outsell someone. And I'm sure there are people like Mark Miller. Somebody brought this up before. These guys, Mark Miller, I believe Jeff Johns, they did a podcast recently, if I'm not mistaken. And we all know that anything that those guys touch, especially Mark, is going to outsell anything anybody does. Yet there's YouTubers in comics, or that call themselves making comics, that get more viewership than them, right? But it doesn't mean that they can outsell Mark. They can't. It's impossible to. So it differs. It's not a direct 1-by-1. And if it were that easy, everybody would for sure do it. But I guess you could say that if you wanted to, if you absolutely had to, though you couldn't. With the first book, whatever. But after Isom 2, and then we got Yaira, and then we got Alpha Core, and then we got all these other books that have done incredibly well. Horseman that we just ended, Blood Ruth right now. At that point, you kind of got to admit, these guys are here to stay. But you know, I am an independent, or the company is an independent company, right? There's no other investors. There's nobody that owns a stake in the Rippaverse or anything. So to that latter point, the only way that I make money is if I deliver on the things, my promises to my customers and creatively. So it's not like the gaming industry in the sense that where they can just get bailed out by some fucking bank, right? They're already operating on debt anyway, and such. I don't have such a luxury. We have to sell things that people want in order for us to make money. So as far as I'm concerned, they're tied within each other, right? It's not just about the money. It literally can't be, because the creative stuff has to be appealing enough for us to make money in the first place. That's how it works. So those are my thoughts. Joe Music says with a 2. I believe I did. He asked, did you read super chats from last stream? I did, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. My bad if I missed them, but I'm pretty sure I got them. No Face with a 5 said, by checklist, I was envisioning a high quality flowchart poster showing every cover of it. That's tough, because I mean it's a poster that we would have to continuously update, right? So that'd be very tough.
Not fiscally viable.
Yeah, that'd be very, very tough, because you got to understand we're going to be coming out with books that, like they're going out of style.
Unless you did it annually, like an annual.
Yeah, unless I did it only like, hey, here's the year after year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and something like that, then potentially. What else we got? Darren Wagner says Demifoot Urban Sasquatch. Google it.
Not touching it with a bicycle.
Yeah, it sounds like something I don't know about. The Landy Lodge with a 47 months. I appreciate that. We got a 5 also. Shout out to you. And we got DB with a 2 says, identify as non-buy any until I see a good product. Can't knock that. Can't knock that at all. Also says, what is your favorite flavor of urinal cakes? DB says with a 2. I'm not into those.
I don't eat them.
Yeah, not into that type of stuff. Perhaps there are experts out there. We are not one of them.
One springs to mind, but
Mr. Toxicity with a 5 says, seeing the up close art of Zaylin, and he looks badass. Yeah, man, you guys are gonna love Zaylin by Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett. Mark Smarts is on the colors. That'll be dropping very, very soon. Very, very soon. And we got Graph Webb with a 2, excuse me. It says, for fuck's sakes, hashtag cancel Disney Plus. I don't have it, so
done and done, mate.
Yeah. That's that. Okay, and I believe that is going to make sure I didn't miss any. I think we're good to go. Yeah. We're good. What do you have coming up these next say this upcoming week?
Afternoon tea with Az. Time to be determined. Sunday fun day, maybe something Friday. I'm not too sure. I'm actually cross-referencing it. Sure, we'll see. And then Real BBC on Tuesday, back on Gary's channel again. While I'm sort of doing some stuff and getting set up here with some equipment and whatnot. And then Ripping and Silverback, probably not next week, because it's Christmas Day.
Is it? Yeah, that's probably not happening.
So we'll probably take a couple of weeks before we come back with
good point. Yeah, good point, because I am going to be dragged all across the Metroplex on the family. Yeah. So, cool. So yeah, but when we do return, it'll be on Az's channel. So be on the lookout for that. As far as me, probably not streaming for the rest of the week. Got a lot of stuff to do. If I do pop in, it'll be like a Sunday or something. But I got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of cool things. Got some more announcements and such. So I would say just go again, support. Get the shirt. Donate to Jordan if you like. We have the Trinity.
Buy that shirt.
Yes, please buy that shirt. It'll be something that. It's really cool thing, man. I can't wait to be rocking that stuff on stream as well. But we got the calendars, we got Blood Rule stuff that you can, of course, get. I'm rocking a shirt that you can get. there. There's also this plushie that you can get there as well in the Blood Ruth collection. And of course, we have what else? We got obviously Trinity. I just mentioned that. Man, there's just so much stuff is just running together. A lot of stuff we got planned going into the future. So we appreciate all of your support. Please, Rippaverse.com if you need any more information. But that's all we have for this week. It's been a fun episode number 52.
Yeah.
We will be back soon. Oh, Art of Will Conrad, someone mentioned. That's what I forgot to mention. Art of Will Conrad. You can go grab that as well. Really excited about that. Says traditionalist says with a 20. Says I got to share that in my Discord. I'm sure you two have noticed, but why do we see gaming and movie ads in comics, but the gaming industry and movie industry don't do the same with comics? Well, because it's not the medium anymore. Obviously, there's ads in comics, not like that anymore to your degree. But yeah, it's like it's a very specific thing. It's a niche thing. It's not the newsstand is completely changed, right? In comparison to what it was. So the incentive is going to be on the opposite side, or the instance that you're referencing, as opposed to it going the other way. So there's that. Appreciate that 20, by the way, man. That ain't cheap. Appreciate that. Much love. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We'll see you when we see you. We'll let you know. We'll keep you posted on whenever that is. As we'll have his streams, I'll be hanging out there when he's doing his streams. But other than that, I'm just gonna be working. Appreciate y'all so much for all the love and support. Again, go to Rippaverse.com. You can get all the stuff that I mentioned. Enjoy your Christmas this upcoming week. Have all of the fun with your family. But we're gonna get up out of here. See you on episode 53 soon enough.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and y'all